Looking for the next big thing in gaming? Well, it's only a few clicks away at GoldenNuggetCasino.com. GoldenNuggetCasino.com already has the largest selection of online slots in the Garden State, and now you can play your favorite table games with the very first statewide online live dealers in the U.S. It's called Golden Nugget Online Live Dealer. All of the dealers have their own unique personalities talking to you as they deal the cards. Live Dealer is broadcast live from an exclusive studio at the Golden Nugget Atlantic City and streaming directly to you, the player, on your smartphone or your laptop. And as long as you're within New Jersey limits, you can play from wherever you happen to be or on the go. Tablet, phone, or desktop. Wherever you are, you can enjoy the live dealer experience. Play Golden Nuggets Online Live Dealer today in real time, 7 days a week, now from noon to 3 a.m. Blackjack, roulette, baccarat, all live in real time on GoldenNuggetCasino.com. Get started today at GoldenNuggetCasino.com and take part in the newest and most unique online gaming experience a casino can offer. Golden Nuggets Online Live Dealer. Truly the next evolution of online gaming. Must be 21 years or older. New Jersey only. Problem gambler. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to Turnpike Sports. Dave Weishuttle with you here, and as always, I am joined by my co-host and producer, Doug Weishuttle. Doug, hey, how you doing?
Always good to be here. It's a Friday and another weekend, another NFL weekend. We're looking forward to a lot of things this weekend with sports. We got a big show today.
Big show.
We've got our normal segments of the injury report, Turnpike Sports Blotter. To contact the show, you can call or text us at 609-512-6510. That's 609-512-6510. Hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. Both of them are at Turnpike Sports. Or you can email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.
After that, I have an awesome interview. The guy's name is Or Lifshiftz. He's the co-founder and CEO of something called Fantasy Advantage. You have to check this out. Go to fantasyadvantage.com. It's a computer program that uses artificial intelligence to help you pick your daily fantasy sports teams. And get this, the best part, it's free. You know, I've been using this for a couple times, and I'm actually winning money. You might want to check it out. You might want to listen. It's absolutely an amazing tool for that casual daily fantasy sports player.
And then we're going to have our pick segment with Simon Chokoisky, our in-house Vedic astrologer. Check out Simon's website, spirittype.com. You can also check out his book, Gambler's Dharma, Sports Betting with Vedic Astrology. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, wherever quality books are sold.
We actually bought it at Barnes & Noble. Hey, remember those things? The actual brick-and-mortar bookstores?
Yeah, they're becoming a quick thing of the past. And one other addition to the show, we have to welcome our newest addition to the Turnpike Sports family. We are going to welcome Michelle Walls and the International Bikini Team to the show.
Absolutely. Every week you're going to see a new girl from the International Bikini Team, and want to welcome her aboard.
Check out her website at internationalbikiniteam.org. And also you can now purchase their 2018 calendar. You can email them at info@internationalbikiniteam.org, and they're on sale for $10. All right, we got a big show, so come back for more Turnpike Sports.
Have you ever wanted something so bad that you do just about anything for it? Well, that's exactly how we feel about you. That's right. AdamandEve.com wants you so bad. We're giving you 10 free gifts with your first order. You heard me right. That's 10 free gifts to spice up your love life. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, an adventurous toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. That's 10 free gifts for you shy types who've never tried Adam and Eve before. Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, a sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts, including free shipping. That's offer code BABE16. That's BABE 16 at adamandeve.com.
You know, ever since we started this show, people have been asking for advice. Usually it's what team to bet on this week. You got the Patriots or Steelers, Chicago, Detroit. Well, let me tell you this. Where you're betting at is just as important as who you're betting on. So that's why I tell people to go to mybookie.ag. Use promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, for up to a 100% deposit bonus. There are a lot of online sports books out there. MyBookie.ag is the only one that gets my stamp of approval, and you know I don't give that out lightly. To get my endorsement, I've got to personally use them, and that means they have to be the best. And MyBookie.ag is by far the best sports book I've used. The rep is rock solid. They do 100% cash bonuses, so off the bat you're making money for doing nothing. And they have the fastest payouts. Seriously, just 2 business days. It's no different from betting in a glitzy Las Vegas casino, but you can do it right from your smartphone. Go to mybookie.ag to place your bets and tell them I sent you by using promo code PIKE. Get over there and get the best odds anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Doug Weishuttle with your Turnpike Sports Weekly Injury Report. It was a rough weekend in the NFL. Philadelphia Eagles tight end Zach Ertz entered the concussion protocol after suffering a head injury, and the Eagles lost to the Seattle Seahawks Sunday night. Ertz will be reevaluated closer to game time. Buffalo Bills quarterback Tyrod Taylor is day-to-day with a patellar contusion suffered in the first half of the Bills-Patriots game. Taylor may still play this Sunday if healthy. Buffalo Ravens defensive back Jimmy Smith suffered a torn Achilles during their game against the Detroit Lions and is out for the season. Smith also dropped his appeal of a 4-game suspension for a PED violation and will serve the punishment immediately. Linebacker Derek Wolfe of the Denver Broncos is out for the season due to a neck injury suffered earlier this year. Wolfe had been experiencing numbness in his face, arms, and legs. Surgery is not required, but Wolfe has been placed on IR. In the NBA, Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry is day-to-day after injuring his ankle in the Warriors' win over the New Orleans Pelicans. Curry injured his ankle attempting a steal and stepped on the foot of Pelicans' Etuan Moore. An MRI showed no structural damage, and Curry will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. And Phoenix Suns guard Devin Booker had to be carried off the court after suffering a left adductor injury, or a groin injury, in the Suns' loss to the Raptors. And finally, both UCLA quarterback Josh Rosen and Michigan quarterback Brandon Peters have been cleared to play in their team's upcoming bowl games. Rosen had missed the second half of the regular season finale with a shoulder injury. Peters had cleared the concussion protocol after missing the Wolverines' regular season finale. This is Doug Weishuttle for Turnpike Sports. Come back next week, and in the meantime, let's be careful out there.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. You know, hearing that injury report, I am just thinking back on this last week. What a devastating week for injuries, and especially for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you want to talk a little bit about that, Doug.
Well, we got a couple updates, but you're right. The Pittsburgh Steelers-Cincinnati Monday night game was very, very rough, very violent.
Brutal.
And just a quick update. I know everyone's been talking about it, but the Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier has been moved from the Cincinnati hospital to a Pittsburgh hospital.
Being a non-doctor, I'm assuming that's good news that they can actually move him somewhere, because I know when you have a spinal cord injury, you don't want to move the patient anywhere.
Well, he underwent spinal stabilization surgery this past Wednesday, and right now they have not made any other updates other than he's been moved. There's no indication whether there's any movement in his legs, so thoughts and prayers out to him and his family. And now on to some good injury updates. I know that's kind of an oxymoron there. The San Antonio Spurs are planning to have Kawhi Leonard debut this season, this Saturday, against the Suns. He's been out since the playoffs. He went out against the Golden State Warriors.
I remember that. Boy, that was a very controversial injury. And
I still think that would have changed the landscape of the playoffs.
Absolutely.
But he's going to be making his debut this Saturday against the Suns. And the Philadelphia 76ers also made it known that their number 1 overall pick, Markelle Fultz, is on the road to recovery, and he may be starting pretty soon. There's no more pain in his shoulder. The shooting motion has stabilized, so they're hoping to have him return to the team soon.
I'm glad to hear that, because that was a very odd shooting motion, especially at the foul line. When he was there, it was something wasn't right. I hope everything works out for that guy. I know the Sixers have not had a lot of luck with their first-round picks playing immediately. It looks like they're having better luck with them sitting out for some time to get together with their injuries and everything like that. But it's good to hear about Fultz.
Still no timetable when he's getting back on the court, but they were glad to announce that he is coming back. All right, let's move on to the next topic, college football awards.
Some happier news.
College football announced their awards last night. They still haven't done the Heisman, which is Saturday night.
Which, by the way, my pick, even before the season, we didn't have this show before the season, but I was telling everyone, look for Baker Mayfield. Look for Baker Mayfield. No one was talking about Baker Mayfield. Everyone was talking about USC, UCLA.
Right now, they could easily call last night Baker Mayfield night, because he won the Maxwell Award, the Walter Camp Award, and the Davey O'Brien Award as best quarterback. He had, 41 touchdowns?
Yeah, something like that. The one thing, I think he's a lock to get the Heisman. The one thing that may be holding him back and maybe people are thinking twice about is that crazy puppet show that he did on the sidelines at the Kansas game, where he was grabbing himself and telling the other team to F off and things like that. But, I think that's the only thing holding him back. And, he's one of those interesting talents. He's not a big guy. I think he sees the field good, even though he's not a big guy. I think he's got great instincts. He's got a lot of growing up to do, I think.
Well, I still don't even understand why he did that. That was so out of character for the season he was having, for what everyone knows about him. It was just grow up. Well, it's one of those things, but he's still going to be a first-round guy, I think. So it's going to be
still say future Jets quarterback.
Well, right now he's 71% chance to win the Heisman, so we'll see what happens this weekend. Moving on to the next topic, we have, every year Forbes releases their annual list of values of teams, and this past week they released the value of hockey teams, the NHL teams. And I noticed going through it that the new team is already on it.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Boy, if that doesn't give some motivation to other sports teams to look at Las Vegas as a viable area to play their games at, I don't know what is. It wasn't surprising. The first top 10 weren't surprising. Look, they're the big market teams, the Rangers, New York, you got Toronto, Montreal, Chicago, Boston, Los Angeles, Philadelphia. So that wasn't surprising. But when Las Vegas gets to number 14 this quickly, there's something to be said about Las Vegas as a viable sports city. Well,
the entire league is seeing a increase across the board. All their revenue streams are up. Average team revenue is up 8%. The average team operating expenses are up 20%, so they're spending a lot more money. They're getting a lot more money from the TV, from even some outside sources, including the $500 million that the Golden Knights ownership paid to get the team into the league. And now you're looking at another team possible coming.
Seattle, yeah. Good for Seattle.
So they're going from 30 to 31 in 1 year, and then maybe 31 to 32 in maybe the next year, maybe 2 years here with Seattle. They're going to even out the conference.
I good for Seattle. I think they beat out teams or some kind of proposals from Quebec, who I am shocked that still doesn't have a hockey team. And I think Houston was in the mix, but I think Bettman said, you know what, Seattle is a great geographic location. It's a great fan base.
And they're getting a brand new stadium. That's the $600 million stadium. It just was signed through. They're actually trying to attract both an NBA team and an NHL team. They haven't had basketball there since the Supersonics left.
I know.
I'm sorry. When they left, they were
Xavier Daniels.
They were just the Seattle Sonics. They were not the Supersonics when they left. They became Oklahoma City, but they haven't had NBA basketball there. So.
Well, Seattle's a great city with a great sports culture that's dormant right now, but I think it'll emerge pretty soon. I got to tell you, a city that is really great, but I don't think has a great fan base, especially for football, is Los Angeles. Did you hear what happened this last couple of days?
Well, I remember when the Eagles went out there and played the Chargers.
Yeah, it was
that stadium. What was it? StubHub Stadium or whatever it's called.
I think it's like a 30,000 seat soccer stadium or something like that.
It basically became Philadelphia West.
Yeah, well, apparently the Coliseum is in danger of becoming Philadelphia West again. So much so that Fox will have their pregame show outside. It's Los Angeles, beautiful weather. They're going to have it in the vein of, the ESPN College Game Day, where all the fans are around them, around the desks while they talk football, the crew talks football. And what's interesting, this is typical LA. They sent out a casting call for LA fans. So apparently this was done through projectcasting.com, and they were we're looking for LA's biggest NFL fans to be part of NFL Sunday Los Angeles Rams versus Philadelphia Eagles pregame show. So they're actually auditioning Los Angeles fans.
That's typical Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Quite honestly, I just don't get the fans out there. LA wanted the football teams. They're getting the football teams.
No.
But you know what? They still don't get the crowds, and the crowds don't really care for going out to
I don't know. There was a big cry from the fans from LA that wanted the teams. There's a big cry from the NFL offices. The head office, they needed a team in the biggest media market in the country. So what they do, they put 2 teams there.
They had the Raiders there twice.
Yeah, well, that didn't work out.
Yeah, and now they're moving over to Vegas, and now L.A. looks like...
who, by the way, the Vegas Raiders will draw more people than any L.A. team put together. Between L.A. Rams and the L.A. Chargers, I think the Vegas Raiders will draw more people.
Just by going by the fan response for the Golden Knights in the NHL, that was an untested market for the NHL. This is an untested market for the NFL with Vegas. I think the NFL is probably going to blow away what the NHL did in Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, if you're a actor or an actress and want to get on a Fox TV show...
What do they call them? Los Angelino?
Yeah, Los Angelino. And, well, even if you're not, go purchase a LA Rams jersey and get a headshot and go down to, projectcasting.com, and I guess you can submit your headshot and your resume and be a part of a Fox television program. Good for you.
Well, they got to do something out there because I really think they're hurting for fans.
Okay, now it's time for my favorite portion of the show.
And judging by that music, as we all know, this is the time for the Turnpike Sports Police Blotter. Turnpike Sports Police Blotter is brought to you, as always, by Bean Genius. Over 2,000 specialty blends of coffee available at your fingertips at beangenius.com. Have some of the best coffee in the country delivered right to your door each month when you subscribe to Bean Genius. And now get 10% off your subscription when you sign up at beangenius.com using our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Just a couple entries today. We have Georgia linebacker and wide receiver. Georgia linebacker Natrez Patrick and Georgia wide receiver Jason Stanley were both arrested on DUI and marijuana charges. Basically, they were pulled over while allegedly driving erratically. So they were pulled over and they smelled the marijuana, as is the usual case, and they arrested them.
Are these arrests usually after games? I'm listening to all the police reports you do every week, and it seems like these are done directly the night after games. I mean, are they just celebrating, or what is going on here? I mean, it's bizarre.
This was indeed a Sunday morning.
It's always after a game. Always after a game. I guess they're in a good mood. They're celebrating. They're high-fiving.
Well, this is
drinking.
This is interesting because of the interaction here. The linebacker, Natrez Patrick, was a passenger, and he may be in the bigger trouble with the team. This is his third arrest.
Whoops.
It's second this season on a previous marijuana charge. That previous one led to a 4-game suspension. Georgia still has not announced what they're going to do with this kid.
Wow. Okay.
So he's in for some sort of discipline somewhere along the line here. Next one we have Iowa State University cornerback Brian Peavy was charged with 4th-degree criminal mischief.
4th degree. Yeah, let me guess. Was drinking involved?
No.
No, my God. Just being stupid, huh?
This is alleged vandalism at a skate park.
Okay.
First of all,
when you say
why do you go to a skate park?
Hey, it's Iowa. I don't know if there's too much more to do there. But when you say skate park, you mean like, well, certainly not roller skates. Is it? What is it?
It's roller skates, skateboards.
Are these things with the hills and stuff that you jump over and things like that?
They're basically concrete holes in the ground.
You sure he just didn't fall into something, or did he actually want to break something?
They found Peavy and another male allegedly spray painting underneath a bridge near the park.
Okay.
Peavy and the other guy ran when approached by police, but Peavy was caught. The other guy got away.
Who the hell does that? Spray painting? Is this some fraternity thing? I wonder if some of these arrests are because of some fraternity thing that you have to do. You know, you have to spray paint under a bridge. Who the hell spray paints over an Iowa bridge?
My problem with this is this guy is a starter for 11 games this past season. He was an honorable mention of the All Big 12 in 2015 and 2016.
Spray painting something?
No, the cops caught him. They chased him, and I thought defensive backs were going to be faster than that.
All right, well.
So he got caught. The other guy ran away.
Good for the Iowa cops.
They must have some really good 40 times on
what was he allegedly writing on the...
No word.
No word on what he was allegedly writing. Okay, well.
Maybe it was something too graphic to say on the air. Real quick, before we get out of the segment, since we are now in December, we've had a month and a half on the air, I just want to give a little quick summary of what we had in the month of November in terms of arrests and citations and charges. We've had 17 arrests in college football, 7 arrests in college basketball, 7 arrests of former college players, 5 arrests of pro football players, both current and former, 1 coach, 1 mixed martial artist, and 1 soccer player.
Wow. Okay.
That is a summary of November for the Turnpike Sports Police Blotter. And once again, as always, Turnpike Sports Police Blotter is brought to you by Bean Genius. Subscribe to Bean Genius and get 10% off your subscription when you sign up at beangenius.com and use our promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, at checkout.
Stick around. Next, I'll have my interview with Or Lifshiftz. He's the co-founder and CEO of Fantasy Advantage. Seriously, fantasyadvantage.com. Check it out. It uses artificial intelligence to help you pick out your daily fantasy sports lineup. I have actually won some money with it, so I can personally attest to its accuracy. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Well, the holiday season is upon us once again, and we all have a hard time deciding on the gifts to get our friends and families, right? Well, our friends at Bean Genius have made it easy for you. How? Coffee. That's right, give them the gift of coffee by ordering a gift subscription to Bean Genius. It's the perfect solution. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips. And Bean Genius actually learns their individual customers' taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for them. Right now, you can send your loved ones a gift subscription to Bean Genius. Head on over to beangenius.com and click on the gifts link. Then choose from 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a full year subscription. It's that simple. And now you can save 10% off your gift purchase with our promo code PIKE. So sit back, enjoy the holidays a little more, have a cup of coffee, and let Bean Genius take care of everything. And save a little money yourself by getting 10% off your Bean Genius gift subscription by using our promo code PIKE at checkout. Show your loved ones how much you care with a gift of coffee delivered right to their doorsteps with Bean Genius. That's beangenius.com and save 10% off with our promo code PIKE.
Do you wake up with a sore neck or a bad back? Or maybe you just had an awful night's sleep? Must be the bed, right? Well, maybe it's not your bed. Maybe it's your pillow. That's why I use MyPillow. I sleep great at night and wake up pain-free. And now there's a great deal being offered by the folks at MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Radio 4-Pack Special tab, and use promo code CARDS or call 1-800-319-7913 to take advantage of this 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows, all for one low price when you check out with our promo code CARDS. You've heard the commercials about the 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty, and its patented interlocking fill. But really, get MyPillow because you deserve a restful, deep, comfortable, and healing sleep. That's the Radio 4-Pack Special at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-319-7913 and use promo code CARDS. Better sleep starts with MyPillow. Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. You know, daily fantasy sports have become very popular over the last few years, and there have been TV shows, radio shows, blogs, everything in the world to help you pick your team each week. But I don't think there's anything out there like what you're going to hear about today. The company is called Fantasy Advantage, and it uses artificial intelligence to help you pick your teams. And we're lucky enough to have Or Lifshiftz, CEO and co-founder of Fantasy Advantage, to tell us all about it. Or, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Hi, Dave. Nice to be here. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Fantasy Advantage seems like an incredibly innovative idea. For people who are not familiar with it, what is Fantasy Advantage?
Fantasy Advantage is a free product designed to help casual sports fans. Our goal is to help them create winning daily fantasy lineup and make it easy and fun and help them play and win.
How did the idea of Fantasy Advantage come about? Did you take a look at the market and see that this product with this technology would be a good fit in the market?
I think you're all aware that fantasy sport is a huge market in the U.S. and in general around the world, especially in the U.S. And looking at this market, we saw a great opportunity. I believe that there's around 70 million people play seasonal fantasy, casual play with their friends. But not that many play the DFS, the daily fantasy sport. And I think that the main reason they don't do it is because it's too complicated. It requires a lot of time, a lot of research. The amateur players usually lose. They need to invest a lot of energy just to get into the platforms and play. And we saw the huge gap that, just the numbers, they didn't look right to us. So many people play the seasonal game, and we thought it would be a good idea to create a product that would help them shift to the transfer from the seasonal play to the DFS website and help them just play and do it more fun and more easy.
You know, before, like as I said, like a lot of people are selling techniques or commentators on TV and radio telling you how to build your perfect fantasy team. What makes Fantasy Advantage different from those commentators or products that sets you apart in the market?
So I think that the first answer would be it's just easier and more fun. We took the platform and we just gamified it. We focused on the user, and we decided to give the user, eventually your audience, and then everyone that is a sport lover, the opportunity to do it and to do it easily through his mobile phone and do it fast. Now, in order to help them win and create winning lineups, we needed to bring a lot of technology and a lot of data from other markets and from other products that I've worked with them in the past. So we decided to take advantage of this a huge trend of artificial intelligence, machine learning, language processing, and just have the technology help us create the winning teams. And instead of sitting and reading, 25,000 articles and screening through a lot of projections and weather and injuries, we're just going to take the technology and have it, monitor everything for us, drive the conclusion, and present it in a very clean, nice, user-friendly way. I think that our marketing slogan and what we're trying to bring to the market is use your instinct, but back it with our technology. And our goal is to help you just stay in a path, in a secure path that will help you to create the optimal lineup, I would say. And again, I don't think that it's necessarily a winning lineup, but it's a very solid one that can compete with all the professionals out there.
You know, I was fascinated reading about Fantasy Advantage and that you use artificial intelligence to help pick players for your fantasy team. How does that work? I don't know anything about artificial intelligence. So how do you apply that technology in helping choose your teams?
So I think that in order to understand artificial intelligence and machine learning, you don't need to be a science or a genius. Basically, it's just letting computers do work that they're really good at. Screening a lot of data points, reading a lot of articles, monitoring the web. Instead of me or you sitting and reading all the blogs and all the projections and all the inputs that we get every day, just have a bunch of computers and data scientists and screen all this and monitor all this information and try to drive conclusion. At the beginning, not all of them make sense, but the machine has the ability to learn and to perform eventually better than the human brain. Now, again, we're not coming here to our product is not designed to replace a professional player data sheets or Excels or algorithm. It's just try to give sports lover and just casual fan the ability to play like those experts and to maybe I would say level the field and have them give them the extra advantage.
You mentioned professional daily sports players, and we've had a lot of them on this show, and I'm amazed at the amount of hours they spend reading these reports and looking at data. And then I know a lot of them use or purchase these algorithms that just churn out these lineups. And I'm thinking, I'm a casual daily fantasy sports player, and I'm thinking, number one, I don't have the time to put in to the sport that they do, and number two, I certainly don't have the technology that they have at their beck and call. How does Fantasy Advantage help out the casual player like myself in daily fantasy sports?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dave, a great question. And I think that the best answer would be just go, you and all your audience, go to the website and check it out. It's really awesome, it's really cool, and it's very easy. I'll just give you maybe in a nutshell. So our system, the back end, or I would say the data science sits behind the system, collects a lot of data points and process it. Eventually, what we present to you as a user when you come to our website is a very simple, I would say maybe a wizard that can help you create this lineup. So we'd say, okay, here are, the best three quarterbacks for this week. One is a bargain, one is a stud, one is going to perform very well and going to cost you a lot. So we categorize them according to their salaries and what we think will be their fantasy points. And then you start like a very simple journey, filling the different position and going from one player to another and do it very, very easily and fun. Now, we also give you the options, if you want to choose just 3 or 4 players and you want us to complete the rest of it. So you can also use the autocomplete button to, choose the player that you believe is going to perform well, and then we'll complete the rest of them. We can also give you lineups that we prepare in advance. I don't think that in advance is the right word here because it's generated automatically every time you press the button. But I would say lineups that we created that we think are either very safe or going to be very risky, but have the potential to win big. Or maybe you want to use our picks. So the flow and the system is very simple, and I think that's the key message here. And as I said at the beginning, go to the website and try it. You'll see that it's very fun. And our goal is pretty much to make sure that, again, the choice that you're making, or the choice that you're going to do, are in line with some kind of logic. So hopefully none of the players is injured, and all of them are going to play this week, and all of them are going to bring you good results. So again, if you take the numbers of hours that a fantasy player sees, as you said before, it's, they do it that's their profession, that's their day job. I think that many people don't play daily fantasy sports because they don't have the time and they don't have the resources. You mentioned other tools, professional tools, and I think they're all amazing, but the problem is that they cost a lot of money, and the people that can actually afford it are only the professional players. So we are targeting a different audience, a different niche in this market, and we're addressing the recreational players, the amateur sport lovers, people that play the seasonal and want to try the daily in a secure environment, and want to do it for fun, just to add a little thrill to their game.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Do you wake up with a sore neck or a bad back? Or maybe you just had an awful night's sleep? Must be the bed, right? Well, maybe it's not your bed. Maybe it's your pillow. That's why I use MyPillow. I sleep great at night and wake up pain-free. And now there's a great deal being offered by the folks at MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Radio 4-Pack Special tab, and use promo code CARDS or call 1-800-319-7913 to take advantage of this 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows, all for one low price when you check out with our promo code CARDS. You've heard the commercials about the 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty, and its patented interlocking fill. But really, get MyPillow because you deserve a restful, deep, comfortable, and healing sleep. That's the Radio 4-Pack Special at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-319-7913 and use promo code CARDS. Better sleep starts with MyPillow. Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. For those of you just joining us, we are talking with Or Lifshiftz, CEO and co-founder of Fantasy Advantage. Or, I think it's such a great website, and you brought it up. The player who's using your website actually has choices on, what players to play. And they're really great suggestions on how much money you want to spend for a particular player and for a particular position. Go through that again. I love the fact that, they're high risk, medium risk, and I don't want to say safe plays, but go through that again.
Well, I think there is there are a lot of strategies how to play DFS, and again, I don't want to go too deep into it because our market is not those professional players; it's the amateur. But they need to know that there are a lot of different strategies. It depends on the contest and the tournament you're going to play. If it's a 50-50 one or if it's a big tournament, it depends on how much you want to invest. So a lot of those decisions determine the lineup that you're going to take. If you risk a lot of money, probably you should go with a safe lineup that I don't think will bring you to the first or second position in a big tournament, but can pretty much bring you a good ROI on your investment and put you somewhere between the 10 or 5% at the top. So that's what we're aiming. I think that the big advantage that the platform brings is not only those picks that you just mentioned, it's also the integration, the amazing integration that we succeeded to do with the big platforms. And then you can take it and just transfer your lineup immediately to those platforms. You don't need to go and enter them again. I think that, coming from a very strong online background and online agendas, we believe that for the users, for our audience, that the process should be seamless, should be very fun and easy, as I said, but also very logical and simple to use. And that's why it was very important to us to make sure that we're closing all the different holes and making sure there is nothing fall between us and the operators, the big operators that we work with. I think that the user gets a very good flow.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I know the two big guys in fantasy sports is FanDuel and DraftKings, and you have to have different strategies in picking both of them. I know FanDuel, you have to pick a kicker, and DraftKings, I think it's something called a flex player. And Fantasy Advantage is compatible with both these platforms, correct?
Correct, with both of them, and also Fantasy Draft. And we're just integrating more and more a website around the world. But talking about the U.S., I think that at the beginning you have the option to choose the sports. Now it's just NFL and base and NBA, but in the future it's going to be MLB and hockey as well. Mm-hmm. And then you can choose the operator, the operator that you're planning to play on his platform. And then all the prices, the different positions, as you mentioned, are going to be tailored to the future operator that you're going to play at. Also, the lineup will transfer automatically to this operator. Mm-hmm. So everything is calculated in advance, and as I said, we just want to make sure it's easy and fun.
Daily fantasy sports is growing so much in this country. I know a lot of states in the U.S. are legalizing it right now. Where do you see fantasy sports going in the future?
So I think it's a great question, and it's very hard to say now because with all this Supreme Court legislation, it's still unclear where online betting in general is going to fit in this ecosystem. But assuming that it will take a little time, I think that fantasy sport it's amazing. It's amazing hobby. It's amazing sport. A lot of people play it, and it's a great industry. And I think it creates a very nice and fun second screen experience for users. Now when you look at a football game or an NBA game, it's much more fun to play and to watch it once you have a team. So I think we will always have room for fantasy sport. And I think it's just growing yearly. Every year we can see more and more people join the party. I think that if online betting will be legal and sports betting will be legal, then it will probably have still a very little different, and it will correlate and work together with the sport betting.
Yeah, I was wondering if you have any stats on how many people have won using Fantasy Advantage, and if you have any information, who's the biggest winner you have who's used Fantasy Advantage?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I will tell you two things. So first of all, our message to the audience is not that we can't promise anyone that it can win. So we don't like too much to talk about winnings. Again, the platform is just to create a lineups that you think are good, and a lot of the results depends on your instinct and what you chose to do. But I'll give you a few, I think, interesting points. So first of all, not all the information we get back from the platform and from the user, because once we send the user, we have very little information on what happened, unless the user come back to us and tell us. So the only stories that we know are just people that won or won big and came and just wrote us on our Facebook page or on our Twitter page and just said, listen, guys, I did an amazing lineup, look at it, and I won big. So, most of the stories that we get is just by those users that come back and tell us. And I think that statistically looking at lineups that we generated, again, we don't know the names behind those lineups and we don't know the platforms and what actually happened, but we do know that I would say majority of the lineups that left our website and went to big competition came in the top 15 or 20%.
Wow, so, that's great.
Especially on NFL, yeah. It's a great stats, and again, it depends on, there are bigger tournaments or just 50-50 with 4 or 6 players, so it really depends. But I think that the message, and what I want to echo here is that we're not promising anyone that he can win. We just, and again, it's not about winning money, it's about playing smartly. Mm-hmm. Think of it like an investment in the stock market. You wouldn't go and buy a stock without really reading a lot about it and knowing what are you buying and why. So we're trying to fill this gap with instead of you going and read everything about it, just give you what we analyzed.
I know a lot of people who want to get into daily fantasy sports, but, as you said before, they think it's too complicated or too time-consuming. What's your advice to any person who wanted to get into daily fantasy sports or who are new players to daily fantasy? What is your advice to them?
I think that the best advice I would give them is to do it very gradually. I wouldn't go straight to the big tournaments, invest a lot of money. Do it start a step and then take another step. I would use a platform that can give you this information. It can be either our platform or some other stat tools or someone that can actually bet your instinct. Obviously, I would advise anyone to come and use Fantasy Advantage. It's free, so you don't have anything to lose. But I wouldn't just go and place a bet in one of those operators without reading a little bit before and analyzing and making sure that the choice that I'm doing are actually going to give me any chance in the tournament. So that would be my first advice. The second advice, and I think, again, I don't want to promise anything here, but hopefully very soon we'll have some new features that will allow people to practice and to play with friends and to have like a social layer on the platform. So again, I don't wanna spoil any or promise anything now, but I think we'll have a very cool news soon to share with our audience and with your listeners.
I gotta tell you, I am definitely going to use Fantasy Advantage this weekend because I'm thinking, it's finally a tool for the casual player like myself. I mean, like I said before, I don't have time to look at all the injury reports, all the weather reports, or do my own algorithm. I mean, it's done on your site. I know we're running out of time, but can you give your website out one more time so people can check it out and use it to make some money, like myself, at Daily Fantasy Sports?
Yeah, fantasyadvantage.com. Come and use it. It's for free. As I said, very simple interface. fantasyadvantage.com. That's it.
Absolutely. Looks like a great tool. And where can you get that information for free, except fantasyadvantage.com? Or Lifshiftz, founder and CEO of Fantasy Advantage, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure, Dave, and have a nice weekend.
You too. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Do you wake up with a sore neck or a bad back? Or maybe you just had an awful night's sleep? Must be the bed, right? Well, maybe it's not your bed. Maybe it's your pillow. That's why I use MyPillow. I sleep great at night and wake up pain-free. And now there's a great deal being offered by the folks at MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Radio 4-Pack Special tab, and use promo code CARDS or call 1-800-319-7913 to take advantage of this 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows, all for one low price when you check out with our promo code CARDS. You've heard the commercials about the 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty, and its patented interlocking fill. But really, get MyPillow because you deserve a restful, deep, comfortable, and healing sleep. That's the Radio 4-Pack Special at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-319-7913 and use promo code CARDS. Better sleep starts with MyPillow. Looking for the next big thing in gaming? Well, it's only a few clicks away at GoldenNuggetCasino.com. GoldenNuggetCasino.com already has the largest selection of online slots in the Garden State, and now you can play your favorite table games with the very first statewide online live dealers in the U.S. It's called Golden Nugget Online Live Dealer. All of the dealers have their own unique personalities talking to you as they deal the cards. Live Dealer is broadcast live from an exclusive studio at the Golden Nugget Atlantic City and streaming directly to you, the player, on your smartphone or your laptop. And as long as you're within New Jersey limits, you can play from wherever you happen to be or on the go. Tablet, phone, or desktop. Wherever you are, you can enjoy the live dealer experience. Play Golden Nuggets Online Live Dealer today in real time, 7 days a week, now from noon to 3 a.m. Blackjack, roulette, baccarat, all live in real time on GoldenNuggetCasino.com. Get started today at GoldenNuggetCasino.com and take part in the newest and most unique online gaming experience a casino can offer. Golden Nuggets Online Live Dealer. Truly the next evolution of online gaming. Must be 21 years or older. New Jersey only. Problem gambler. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following segment on Turnpike Sports is intended for entertainment purposes only. Please bet with your head, not over it. Problem gambler? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. You know, every week we are lucky enough to have Simon Chokoisky for our pick section. He is the author of Gambler's Dharma, Sports Betting with Vedic Astrology. Be sure to check out Simon's great website, spirittype.com. Simon, are you there?
I'm here, alive and well. I always get excited by your intro. It makes me sound really cool. I want to have you, like, you know, when I'm going out to a restaurant or something,
Absolutely.
You come in, and this is Simon. Check out his great website. He's got this going on. I'm like, yeah, red carpet.
You know, it's almost like having your own theme music when you walk into a room.
I'm going to record every holiday card for you. So,
boom, answering machine.
There you go. I can do that
anymore. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna steal that. I'm telling you right now, I'm stealing it, putting it in my phone.
Well, one thing I did was I stole your last pick, Giants and Oakland. I did very well on that. You hit that one right out of that park there. Thank you.
Well, you're a very smart man because you picked the right game.
I did.
Of course, listeners probably, hopefully don't remember, but if they do, I picked 2 games and one of them was a bust. But that one, I really like the Giants. I think I thought they would beat the spread. They didn't start at the right time. I think they even had a chance to do better, but at least they covered. So I'm glad you made the right pick, and you did well. You know,
let me ask you something about that. You know, starting at the right time is important. What happens? Does it matter if there's a delay in the middle of the game? Because we've seen a lot of injuries, we've seen a lot of lightning stoppages, and does that matter if it's always the starting of the game? It's not the duration of the game.
Not the duration, and thankfully, because that would be just too much for my little brain to figure out.
I wouldn't even want to see the charts on that one.
Yeah, and I've experimented. I've tried, running the game at halftime to see like who'd win the second half. It doesn't really work. Once you have the start of the game, that's the birth of that game, and until the death, like the end, right? The chart applies till the end of the game. So thankfully, it's only one chart, but we do need an exact start time, which is why I do most of my wagering live. Like like last night I was watching a NCAA basketball game, caught it on ESPN, looked at the chart, and I said, "Oh, Iowa State, Iowa State's going to win, no brainer." Boom, bet on them live, and fortunately they won.
Wow.
So that's how I do most of my wagering these days, because that way I know I'm not worried about having the wrong chart. I know, I saw it with my own eyes.
So basically you're saying we're screwing up your mojo by having you do this segment a couple days before the game.
No, you're just making me work a little harder, that's all.
Oh, okay,
because
okay.
Now I have to put the chart 5 minutes ahead, not behind, because they never start early, but I have to plan out for a few minutes ahead to see, how it changes.
Is it within a few minutes, or is it that precise it has to be at 1:35 the kickoff?
If we get it down to a minute, so I have about a minute to a minute and a half play.
Okay.
But if it's beyond that, it can change the chart. And in fact, there is a game, Seattle versus Jacksonville today is one of those that if it starts on time, Jackson, like on time meaning technically it's supposed to start at 1. So between 102 to 104, Jacksonville's going to win that game. But if it's outside of that, Seattle's got a really good shot, and that's why I'm predicting the over on that game. So I guess we could start with that one.
Okay.
I think we just did.
I figured this week. Anyway, I think we just did. So that's a good segue. This week, because of, some of these issues with the time, I'm going to look at the over-unders on a couple of games. And also, I've only done that once, I think, since we've been on the air. So Seattle-Jacksonville, I'm going to predict the over.
Cool.
I think both teams are going to be very dynamic. Both teams are going to put points on the board.
What's the number we starting with? Over what?
It is 39.5. I think it's moved to 40 now.
Okay.
So let's just say 40. Yeah, so I think it's going to be over 40.
Okay, that sounds good. As you can tell, I'm feverishly writing down everything you say.
I love it, man. Over the airwaves, psychologists say that you can, even though you can't see the person, you can hear them smile.
Okay.
Like when a person is smiling, you can kind of hear it in their voice, and you can also hear when someone's writing stuff down because there's that pause, So, so I like the over on Seattle-Jacksonville, and look, I think Jacksonville is going to win. I think the smart money is on them, although Seattle is definitely going to put some points on the board. It's not going to be a low-scoring game. So, anyway, I would play the over on this one.
Sounds good.
The other team that I would put the over on, and this is a little bit less certain than the Seattle-Jacksonville, but I think the Pittsburgh game.
We're talking about Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh opened as a 6-point favorite. I guess there's heavy betting on Baltimore because now they're only a 4-point favorite. But
that actually makes sense because Baltimore's been playing pretty good. So a lot of people are going to start putting some money there. So you're doing the over.
Yeah, let me see what the over is here on Pittsburgh. 43.5. Yeah, and the public, I guess, is betting really heavy because the line went down on Baltimore. So I would play the over. I think Pittsburgh is going to win this one too, to be honest with you. Going against the public here, but or at least, I think they're going to win it. Pittsburgh to win as well. All right, so the other games that I looked at, and this one doesn't have a line yet. This is Detroit versus Tampa Bay, and the line isn't out yet, so I don't know who's the favorite. But I think the favorite's going to take this one. It might change, and if Tampa is the favorite, play Tampa.
Okay, Tampa
because
is
Jay Winston's going to have a better game, and Matt Stafford, I don't think he's going to have I don't see him doing well in this game if he plays at all.
I like the fact that the both overs you went with, the Seattle game and the Pittsburgh game. I mean, they're very logical choices, and I guess when the charts line up almost with the logic of it, I mean, I think it just bolsters the pick, I would think.
Yeah, always use your brain, always use what you know. I mean, this stuff doesn't work in isolation. It works in the real world. So,
I mean,
if I tell you that the underdog has a good chance against Michael Jordan, it doesn't mean that the underdog's necessarily going to win, right? It might mean that Michael is going to play with him a little bit and let him score.
No, I like the fact that what you're giving us is another tool to help us analyze the games. That's what makes it great, because I love the over with Seattle and Jacksonville because they're scoring a lot. Pittsburgh, you always go with the over because of Roethlisberger. He's throwing everywhere to everyone. And, this just bolsters my feelings toward the games, which is really calming effect for me.
By the way, before we get away from it, I just looked up at Bovada, and there is no line for this game yet because of Matt Stafford's hand.
Okay, so you know what? I guess his injury it probably got worse over the week, so who knows? Because it was, I believe we got these points Tuesday or Wednesday, so that might have been a difference in the reporting for
the early lines.
Yeah, the very early lines. So this makes Tampa look even better. So
yeah, and
Dave, would you mind if I ask you a question? How do you bet? You bet parlays? You bet straight? Like when you bet on the weekend?
Well, when I get a chance to bet in the weekend, because I have to go down to Delaware because that's the only place that allows legal sports betting, and they only do parlays. So that's the law. You can't bet on specific games. You have to bet parlays. The only place you can bet on actual games like point spreads and things like that is Nevada. So.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
Right.
Maybe in February that'll change if the Supreme Court rules on sports betting in New Jersey.
Let me tell you something. When the Supreme Court comes back and says, "Hey, the ban against sports betting is unconstitutional," I think this is going to blow open. this whole industry is going to blow open.
There's so much money waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Government's going to make so much money too. I mean,
absolutely.
It's a no-brainer. I think.
I think what was the number? 150 billion being bet illegally. Can you imagine if you taxed that? How amazing that would be.
It's a no-brainer for everybody. And the days of paying a player to take a dive. I mean, how much are you going to pay LeBron James?
Yeah, I know, right?
To take a dive.
Well, first of all, why would he take any money? He's made all the money in the world already anyway.
That's what I mean. I mean,
exactly.
It's not the Black Sox that they're. It's not Charlie Comiskey stealing from his players in the Black Sox scandal. I mean, there was no impetus for the players to even take a bribe anymore.
Yeah, and I think the industry regulates itself. At least in Vegas, they're pretty good about. Anyway, I mean, what do I know? I'm just a scrub here, but I think it's a no-brainer for everybody, for the government, for individuals, for the casinos, and so on. So, okay, so you're betting parlays. So, I think the over on Jacksonville is a good addition to that, and also Pittsburgh, but less so. I'm less confident about that one, but the Jacksonville one I like. That one makes sense to me astrologically because I see both teams putting up a lot of points.
All right. Those are some really good picks. We're running out of time here. Just for our listeners, Simon's picks will be up on the Turnpike Sports blog as always. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the link for the blog, and you'll see Simon's picks for the upcoming games. And Simon, great job as always.
Thank you, guys.
And I
always love having you.
And I want to remind everyone, pick up Simon's book, Gambler's Dharma, Sports Betting with Vedic Astrology, and check out Simon's website, spirittype.com. By the way, the book makes a good holiday present. What better way to express love to another person than having them the gift of possibly winning some cash? How's that?
That's awesome. I'm recording you. I'm just recording you.
All righty. Have a good one, Simon.
All right. Bye now. You too.
And that'll about do it for us, too. See you next time on the Turnpike.